United States government is seeking to end our great Constitution. This will endanger all the American people, and we will not stand by and watch while this tyrannical government prepares to rip away all the freedoms that our forefathers granted us. The freedoms that we fought for, bled for, and died for.
Americans are under attack by their own government. We must band together. We must tell our government that we, the people, will not stand by and watch our liberties be taken away. Let the resistance begin.
Hello, welcome everyone to The Resistance. I'm Nick Larson, and of course, along with me, I got Jay. How you doing there, Jay?
I am doing well, sir.
That is good, that is good. And remember, folks, if you are listening to this, you are part of The Resistance. Welcome, it's our fourth episode, week 4 of The Resistance. My, how time flies. Tonight, we're going to be talking about education in America, and basically, what are your children being taught in public school, private school, and we're gonna give you the shocking truth on how our federal government has end-rounded the Constitution here on education. We're also going to be taking up the Pledge of Allegiance debate, whether or not it should be recited in schools. If it is being recited in schools, should God be in there, not be in there, stuff like that. So it's gonna be a fun 3 hours, that's for sure. So now let's just jump right into education here, Jay. Now I know you haven't really gotten too hard pressed into this, but I mean, do you remember at least stuff that you learned when you were going to school? I mean, how school was?
Yeah, for the most part, when I wasn't busy frying my brain, I learned a few things here and there.
Okay, that's good. Now, what if I told you that kids today are no longer learning cursive?
I know, you told me about that earlier, and that blows my fucking mind.
Okay. It blows my mind too, and I'm just thinking, wait a minute, cursive? And I was talking to my wife, who, for those of you that don't know, my wife is an educational assistant at our local school here. So when education debates come up or questions, she's always the first one I ask. But I brought this up to her, and she said, "Yeah, they don't teach cursive anymore." It's like, why? And she goes, "Well, why would they? Everything's on computer nowadays."
Yeah, I remember. I can't remember the exact year. I think it was second or third grade is when I was first introduced to it. When it was first introduced to me.
Right, third grade for me.
Yeah, so it was probably about the same. So I don't understand why they stopped it. Well, I guess I can understand a little bit because even on my daily use, I don't even use it anymore.
Right, but my wife brought up a good point. Was why would you need it? Everyone has computers nowadays. I mean, technology nowadays. I mean, you no longer need a notebook and a pen. All you need is a tablet and a stylus pen. That's all you need nowadays.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. It blew my mind too, because we're going to be raising our kids, and when it comes to signing a check, they're not going to be able to know how to do it because they have no idea. But,
exactly. If I went to know in cursive, you would not be able to recognize my sloppy ass signature on my checks. Look, it's just a scribbling mess.
Yeah, well,
I don't think I could actually individually do every letter.
See, now it's funny because I have one of those moms that collected all of my schoolwork and stuff like that. And so, needless to say, I can actually go back and look at my second grade handwriting and stuff like that. And it was actually pretty good, pretty neat, until third grade in cursive came, and then all of a sudden it was chicken scratch.
Yeah.
And, my wife looked at it and she just said, wow, your handwriting was better when you weren't doing cursive. It's like, but it's so much fun. But our kids aren't even learning that nowadays. Cursive or even handwriting. Handwriting in itself is gone. They're not teaching it anymore, and I found out that they're not doing it in the school that my kids go to, and I asked my wife, well, why are they not doing that? And she told me simply, when would we have the time?
Well, they seemed to make plenty of time when I went through school.
Well,
what's so much more important now?
Well, and that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Here is something that's called the Common Core. It's an actual national curriculum. It's called the Common Core curriculum, and it's the national standards that the federal government is trying to impose on the states, and we'll be getting into it and everything. But now, here's a few things here. Differences between when we went to school, Jay, and school now. Now, do you remember those standardized testing?
Yeah.
Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, at least my class was the last class that didn't have to do it. So I got out of that one, but the class above me had to deal with it. So, but with all those standardized tests and stuff like that, they're really pushing more math and English, especially more math, and and they're just cramming the day for these kids, and and we'll find out later that Common Core actually goes to preschool, and basically in a nutshell, I'll just tell you right now, it's Common Core is the teachers teaching the test to the students, and they want them to do that as young as preschool or kindergarten. And instead of teaching the kids, they want them to instruct the kids, fill them with facts and dry statistics and stuff like that, rather than explore their creativity or their imagination, stuff that a kid should be doing, kindergarten through third grade. So now, looking at the Spreaker chat here, we got Lionheart, he's in the chat. We got Rick from Taking Back America. We got Alex, he's in the chat. And we got we got Dino's in the chat. We got Kristen, she's in the chat. I'm sure Rick is along with her. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to open up the phone lines, and if you want to call in on any point that we're talking, because this is going to be a pretty good debate here. But if you want to call in, the number to call in is area code 507-216-7672. That number again is 507-216-7672. Or you can Skype us. Our Skype ID is the.resistance1775. Again, that's the.resistance1775. So, anyways, getting back to this. Now, how did Common Core come into play? I mean, how did it start gaining popularity? You might ask. Well, this isn't something that just happened during Obama's term. This is something that Bush tried with No Child Left Behind, and and Clinton had tried too. So it's not just Obama. It's just it happened on Obama's watch. So now
We have Mike calling in. How
Hey.
you doing there, Mikey?
hey,
What's up, fellas?
hey, Mike, how's it going?
It's going all right, guys. What's the topic for tonight?
Well, we are talking about Common Core. It's the national standards curriculum.
Oh yeah, that's a wonderful thing.
Well, basically, it's a national curriculum that the federal government is trying to impose on the states. Now, according to the Constitution, education actually falls under the states' duty to deal with, and for a while now, progressives and socialists have been wanting the federal government to take more and more charge of it. So basically, now this is how it was imposed on the states. Now, well, do you know what I'm talking about, Mike?
Vaguely. I mean, obviously, it has something to do with the curriculum that the kids are being taught in school.
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, do they want to make it standard for all across the nation, or?
Yeah. Yes, they want to make this curriculum standard throughout the entire nation.
Do they not realize that all kids learn differently,
Apparently not.
and that applies to your average quote unquote child?
I know, but here's the thing. There was no state legislation that made this possible. I mean, right now, 45 out of the 50 states, right, Jay, have 45 out of the 50 have taken up the Common Core curriculum.
Yeah. So far, 45 states, and the states that haven't yet are Minnesota, Nebraska, Texas, Alaska, and Virginia. Are the only ones that don't have it.
Yep. I was actually shocked that Minnesota wasn't on. I thought for sure we would have, but guess not. Thank God. But other states had gone into it. Most of them. You guys remember hearing about the Race to the Top program?
I don't remember that one.
I haven't heard about that one.
Okay, well, it was a competition between the states where it would revamp their education system, to be better or whatever. Well, in order for schools to do this, and the other thing too is if you won, you got funding, additional funding. Well, here's the fine print of the whole Race to the Top. One, the money that's awarded to you is already the money that would have been given to you already if the Department of Education just funded you like they were supposed to, instead of taking it away. So they take away the education funding, and then they make the states compete for it.
It's just
Yeah. Well, and now here's the other thing. Now, with Race to the Top, states that wanted to do it and get that money had to adopt the Common Core curriculum. Now, this is a curriculum we just found out that is stopped teaching cursive. They no longer teach handwriting anymore. Another thing is with mathematics that they want children to be ready for college level mathematics by the time they graduate. Well, in order to do that, children have to at least start Algebra 1 by 8th grade. Well, according to the Common Core, they started in 9th grade. And most of the teaching methods that they use for the mathematics are experimental and never been tested. So you have a curriculum that's using experimental teaching methods rather than what's been working